Perfect. So again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar, the SuperSync for NetSuite. So I'm just going to go through a few slides. So today you have Laura Delaney, myself, the sales account manager here at Awesome. And then we have Brooks Flanagan from SCS Cloud. They are the ones who actually developed the SuperSync product. So Brooks will be going through the actual live demo with yourselves. So welcome again, everyone, and welcome, Brooks. So just the objectives of today. Okay, we're going to show the customers the benefits of the SuperSync. This will include attaching inbound and outbound emails to NetSuite. It's going to show you staying coordinated with the calendar sync, uploading file attachments that can go directly into Outlook, showing you how non-NetSuite users can also sync emails into NetSuite, and then also setting custom profiles for security. So the agenda today, we've done the introduction, the objectives. The next slide is just going to be a bit about the SuperSync. Then we're going to dive straight into the live demo, and then towards the end, we're actually going to do the Q&A. So the intro into the SuperSync. This is actually built for a NetSuite app. It helps customers organize and manage their emails. So you can have all of your centralized, you can centralize the important emails into the one spot. We actually use this, it's brilliant. I think it's great, saves a lot of time going through, having to trawl through your emails, etc. It's all just there in the one spot. It automatically syncs the calendar events between NetSuite and Outlook. It's really quick to install, set up and use. So it's a winner all round. Okay, so I am going to stop talking. I'm going to let Brooks take control and share his screen now and go through the demo with yourselves. And again, if there are any questions, pop it into the chat panel and we will do the Q&A at the end once Brooks has shown you. So floor is yours, Brooks. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks so much. Thanks, Laura. Nice to meet you all. This is, as Laura said, I'm Brooks Flanagan with SCS Cloud. We created this product about, kind of 2 years ago is when we really released it to the general public. We had kind of created it as a custom solution for one of our customers prior to that. But yeah, so we kind of have two separate integrations that I'll be showing you right now. One is our SuperSync email for Outlook, and then one is our calendar sync, and they kind of work in two different ways. So why don't I go ahead and share my screen, and then I can kind of walk you through this. And I'm going to just go ahead and start with the calendar sync part of this, because it takes, it syncs every few minutes. So we can kind of start here and then go ahead and come back to it. But essentially what this Outlook calendar integration does is it allows you to create events in Outlook and have them sync to NetSuite, or you can create them in NetSuite and have them sync to Outlook. And so currently this is just kind of limited to events. So just as an example, I'll just put in an event here called Outlook to NetSuite, and I'll go ahead and save that here. And then I'll switch over to my calendar in NetSuite here, and I'll just create an event here as well. And so currently this is limited just to events. There is some, some customization that can be done, but this all kind of works on the back end. And, there's, like I said, there's customization. So, if you want to filter these out, so you're not bringing every single event in, there's ways of filtering it, or, only bringing over specific events. But, if you're interested, we can kind of get into that. I know that we've done some work with the Awesome team as far as some of their scheduling within NetSuite. That's been pretty cool as well. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to email. And for the purpose of this webinar, I'll just base this around this customer that I created called Brooks Distribution. And so I'll switch over to Outlook here. I'm just using the web version here. However, it works on desktop for both Windows or Mac, as well as the Outlook mobile app. And so what happens is when I click into this email here, this add-in that I have pinned here on the right is automatically going to pop up, and it's going to search within NetSuite for both the name and the email address. So you can see this comes back with contacts, customers, employees, projects, cases, opportunities, and sales orders. So if I wanted to log this to that customer that we were taking a look at, I would just check this box and then click the log email button. And you'll see this green check show up here, as well as a green box up here, as well as in the inbox here. And that way, as you log these emails, just at a glance going through your inbox, which emails have been logged and which ones haven't. And so another thing that we can do is we can auto log the conversation. And so when I toggle this switch, what that means is that any further inbound or outbound emails on this specific email thread will automatically be logged without you having to check the box or click the log email button. So if we go ahead and switch back to that customer that we were taking a look at, and down here under the messages sub-tab, we'll just hit refresh, and you can see that email shows up here. And so if we take a closer look at this, these emails will show up the same way they would if you were to send or receive emails in NetSuite natively. So if you have your subject, you have your message, and then those attachments are automatically included as well, as you can see here. So I'll go ahead and switch back here. And so another thing that you can do, maybe you want to log this to some other record than one that's associated with the name or the email address. You can do a manual search in this bar. And this works the same way that the global search does within NetSuite. So for instance, I know that we have a customer and a contact called Chess Art Gallery, and a lot of records connected to them. So I will just go ahead and type in chess, and you can see it comes back with that customer, that lead, cases, opportunities, quotes, sales orders. So, if you were having internal conversations and you want to log this to, a customer record or a sales order, or whatever it is that you want to log that to, you can do that as well. And then one other thing that you can do here, say you were to receive an email and there was no record of the name or the email address within NetSuite, so this was just blank, you have the ability to create a new record from directly within Outlook. So you can create either a customer, a contact, or a lead from directly within Outlook, and this will show up within NetSuite. And so these forms here, they're very customizable. You can make sure that you're capturing all of the relevant information that you need, and so that all those records are set up the same way they would if you were to create them within NetSuite natively. So that is pretty much how it works on the inbound side of things. Let me just show you how we initiate a conversation or kind of start a new thread, because it works slightly differently. So I will just create a new email, and we'll just call this one outbound. And so this is kind of one difference between the web version and the desktop version. For the web version, you actually click these three dots and then click this email for NetSuite button. When you're using the desktop version, it'll actually be a button that shows up within the ribbon that says BCC to NetSuite. And that's essentially what it does, is it fills in this BCC field so that when you send this email, it will log it to the record that's associated with the email address that you are sending it to. And one thing to mention too is that this is the same email address organization-wide, so you could copy and paste it, or you could even just create a contact, so you could just type it in that way as well. So I'll go ahead and send that. And if for some reason you forget to do the BCC function, or maybe you want to be able to log this to some other record, you can always just go into your sent box and then click into that email, and the add-in will pop up here on the right the same way that it does for those inbound emails. So it gives you a bit more flexibility if you want to log this to, some other record than what's associated with what you're sending it to. So if we go ahead and switch back to that customer record again, I'll just hit refresh. And you can see that outbound email shows up there. So it's the same, basically the same as it is for those inbound ones there. And so that is basically how it works on the Outlook side of things. We want to keep it pretty simple and straightforward. Let me get into some of the NetSuite settings, because there's some interesting things that we've done here as well. And so, as Laura kind of mentioned, there's a way to set those permissions and set that security. And what we've done is we've created these profiles, which function similar to roles. We just called them something different to eliminate some of the confusion. So, what the sales team needs to be able to log emails to is going to be different from the accounts receivable team, for example. So if we go ahead and take a look at that sales profile, the matching types that are going to show up for them are contacts, customers, employees, opportunities, quotes, and sales orders. However, you can edit those existing ones that we created. You can create your own. We essentially support all standard NetSuite record types, as you can see here. And you can even narrow these down further using saved searches. If you had a salesperson whose territory was north, for example here, you could create a saved search and set it up so that only the records that fit that saved search would show up for that employee. And one thing to mention too is that as you assign one of these profiles, it's only having to search through, in this example, these 6 different record types. So it speeds up the return of the results within Outlook, because you're not having to search through, all of these the way that it does for my administrator profile. And so kind of where this all kind of comes together is under the employee record. And as Laura mentioned, one thing that's pretty unique about our solution is that you don't actually need a NetSuite user license to be able to make use of our solution. So, as your companies expand, if there are contacts within the organization who need to be able to log emails and create records, but don't need to work directly within NetSuite, you can potentially save a bit of money on those monthly NetSuite user licenses by just giving them an employee record. And then down here under this access sub tab, you're able to give them access to one of those profiles down here. So that is pretty much how it works. One other thing that we've added as well, we've created a dashboard, and this is probably most interesting to maybe a sales manager type of role. But you can kind of see the volume of emails that are being logged. There's a bit of a leaderboard. It looks like Patrick's doing most of it here, but you can see that some of those other employees are also logging emails as well. And if they are using the create record feature, then you'll have better insight into that, as well as kind of being able to see, what time throughout the day some of those employees are most busy. And so all of that is, our SuperSync email for Outlook tool. That's basically it. Let me just go ahead and switch back to NetSuite here, and I'll show you the calendar. You can see that these have synced over. So there's that one that we created in Outlook, which has moved over to NetSuite. And if we go ahead and take a look back here, let's just switch back to the calendar. And you can see that one that we created in NetSuite has also shown up here. So there is a bit of customization that we can do for the Outlook integration. Each one of those is customized to the customer, but we can definitely can talk through some of those use cases more if necessary. But yeah, that is pretty much our SuperSync email for Outlook integration, as well as our calendar sync integration for Outlook as well. So that's basically what I've got.
Perfect. Well, Brooks, thank you very much. Short and sweet.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's quick and simple, as we mentioned before, easy to use. We use it ourselves. It's brilliant. I have to say, it saves a lot of time. So I'm just going to share my screen again. I'm going to rob the screen. Where are we? Yes, and just go through this, the last slide. So this is just the last slide, the benefits. I'll just go through the benefits again. So you can attach inbound and outbound emails to the NetSuite records directly from Outlook. You can stay coordinated with the calendar sync. You can upload file attachments directly into Outlook. Again, a good one is even non-NetSuite users can also sync emails into NetSuite, and then you can set your custom profiles for security. So I'll just go to here. So ladies, are there any questions in the box?
Nothing in there so far. So if anybody has any questions, just pop them in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Otherwise,
yeah, if there are any questions that anybody thinks after this webinar has finished, then please do email us at sales@awesomecloud.ie and we'll be happy to assist. But as you can see, look, it's short demo. Brooks, you've done an amazing job. It's a great tool. So if there are any questions, please pop us an email and we will be happy to assist. But if that's everything, then
yeah, I guess one other thing that I could also just say, as far as implementation, the implementation is very simple. You know, we can usually get it done within a few days. You know, our implementation team just schedules probably about an hour, and they run through it via screen share with the NetSuite administrator, and you're pretty much good to go from that point.
excellent, brilliant. Okay, well, if that's everything, I just want to thank everyone for your time. Brooks, thank you very much also for your time. And again, like I say, if there's any questions, pop us an email and we will be happy to assist. But thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Brilliant. Thank you. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.